Hello folks, this is a video just for Jack. Jack, I hope that I am someone that you respect somebody's opinion at least a little bit, so that you'll take something away from this, that you'll learn something from it, give you something to consider. Now, you want to say that you now block those who will take a mocking approach to you, and far be it for me to judge you on that. Is your every right to block people and to engage in conversation as you wish. But in the way that I see that you are approaching this subject, I think you kind of brought it on yourself. I've seen your channel and what kind of videos you put out for the past several years now. And by and large, your videos was always focused on a particular group. On that group you seem to criticize the most, and those who mock you, and those who mock religion in general. And you've always seem to talk about inconsistencies and hypocrisies in this, and yet maybe in many of the times you were sort of goaded into these making these sort of videos, that you felt like you should have defend yourself from this, but really that sort of feeds the problem. Most of the time I see it that most of the time you had to correct yourself, that you keep on talking, well, not all atheists are this way, and they're not all like this. And you're constantly trying to, well, address this issue, while not at the same time trying not to generalize everyone. And my advice is then that you no longer entertain these people, just don't talk about this subject, because I think it only keeps on coming back around. But my largest problem is that the way that you approach this is that you seem to think that everyone must be respectful and not mocking of religion, and to that extent I disagree. Now, that's not my style, and sometimes that approach does leave a bad taste in my mouth. But I do see it as something that is an approach all of its own. It's something that is still valid. You know, I know everyone's not a Catholic who promotes the Pope's ideas of, forbidding condoms. I know that every Christian is not a, fundamentalist, young earth creationist. But those type of things are mockable. Even in moderate views, in my opinion, there does seem to be something that is worthy to be mocked, because in general the idea of the justice of the Christian God does seem to be lacking. So I'm sorry that you have an opinion that is different from that, but it still is just a valid approach. So I'm sorry that you finally felt that you had to do this or whatever, but maybe you ought to consider that you ought to change something, that you ought to change how you discuss things. Take this time to reevaluate what you talk about, instead of talking about other people's inconsistencies and hypocrisies. Maybe you want to try something else, Jack. Just give that a thought. Peace. Take care.